The Holy Gospel according to John, the 4th chapter.
Praise to you, O Christ.
Jesus realized that the Pharisees were keeping count of the baptisms that he and John performed, although his disciples, not Jesus, did the actual baptizing. They had posted the score that Jesus was ahead, turning him and John into rivals in the eyes of the people. So Jesus left the Judean countryside and went back to Galilee. To get there, Jesus had to pass through Samaria. He came to Sychar, a Samaritan village that bordered the field Jacob had given his son Joseph. Jacob's well was still there. Jesus, worn out by the trip, sat down at the well. It was noon. A woman, a Samaritan, came to draw water. Jesus said, "Would you give me a drink of water?" His disciples had gone into the village to buy food for lunch. The Samaritan woman, taken aback, asked, "How come you, a Jew, are asking me, a Samaritan woman, for a drink?" Jews in those days wouldn't be caught dead talking to a Samaritan. Jesus answered, "If you knew the generosity of God and who I am, you would be asking me for a drink, and I would give you fresh, living water." The woman said, "Sir, you don't even have a bucket to draw with, and the well is deep. So how are you going to get this living water? Are you a better man than our ancestor Jacob, who dug this well and drank from it? He and his sons and his livestock, and passed it down to us? You are greater than he?" Jesus said, "Everyone who drinks this water will get thirsty again and again. Anyone who drinks the water I will give never thirsts, not ever. The water I give will be an artesian spring within gushing fountains of endless life." The woman said, "Sir, give me this water so I won't ever get thirsty, won't ever have to come back to this well again." Jesus said, "Go, call your husband and then come back." "I have no husband," she said. "That's nicely put. I have no husband. You've had 5 husbands, and the man you're living with now isn't even your husband. You spoke the truth there, sure enough." "Oh, so you're a prophet? Well, tell me this. Our ancestors worshipped God at this mountain, but you Jews insist that Jerusalem is the only place for worship, right?" "Believe me, woman, the time is coming when you Samaritans will worship the Father, neither here or at this mountain, nor there in Jerusalem. Your worship guessing in the dark, we Jews worship in the clear light of day. God's way of salvation is made available through the Jews. But the time is coming. It has in fact come when your call will not matter, and anywhere you go to worship will not matter. It's who you are and the way you live that counts before God. Your worship must engage your spirit in the purest of truth. That's the kind of people the Father is out looking for. Those who are simply and honestly themselves, before God in their worship. God is sheer being itself. Spirit. Those who worship him must do it. And out of their very being, their spirits, their true lives in adoration. The woman said, I don't know about that. I do know that the Messiah is coming. When he arrives, we'll get the whole story. I am he, Jesus says. You don't have to wait any longer or look any further. Just then the disciples came back and they were shocked. They couldn't believe he was talking with that kind of a woman. No one said what they were all thinking, but it showed on their faces. The woman took the hint and left. In her confusion, she left her water pot. Back in the village, she told the people, come and see. A man who knew all about the things I did, who knows me inside and out. Do you think this could be the Messiah? And they went out to see for themselves. The gospel of our Lord.
Praise to you, O Christ.
Please be seated. Just like so many of you who this week have family in long-term care facilities, families in hospitals, you have got to be as vacillated about what to do as the rest of us. As we saw more and more places and synods shutting worship down, my colleagues, we were texting furiously all week. Should we? Shouldn't we? This is what we did. Well, we canceled worship. We canceled Lenten services. And it was like that all week. That uncertainty of what do we do that is best practice? What do we do for an abundance of caution but not to live in fear? What should we do? So yesterday was a huge day of texting back and forth. Ron probably thought my phone was going to blow up. And finally, I said, not that I'm like some great messenger, I said, the text that we heard today, that we will hear today, about the woman at the well and being one of those people and being shocked at Jesus' presence with her and speaking with her is exactly what our congregations need to hear this morning. One of our pastors who has a Saturday worship service at 4 o'clock, she's texting and saying, I can't find a message in any of these Gospels today. What am I going to do tonight? And that's when I said, hear that message that God's putting in your heart about the Samaritan woman who is shocked that someone, a Jew, would deign to speak with her. We need to share that message in this way, that those who are living on the fringes of, should I go to the market? Should I go to worship? Should I even go get my mail? They need to hear from us that we aren't afraid and we will help them. We will take care of them. Give me your grocery list and I will go get it. Put your key to your mailbox on the stoop and we will check your mail. You need meds and they're in Bloomfield, we'll go get your meds. We are here just as God is here. We need to be present here in all of this.
as you heard in the prayers, it is up to us to be that calm in the midst of such crazy messages of stay home, don't even leave your house, and as long as you're not 60 and you don't have underlying conditions, yeah, go ahead. Where is the truth in all that? I don't know. But this is the truth I do know. That Christ our Lord is with us today, tomorrow, always. For better, for worse. Christ does not leave us when we are just a mess. We don't want to be hysterical. We don't want to be carefree. But there's a place in the middle for us to be so that we can be present with cards, with text messages, with phone calls. That, boy, I missed seeing you today. I sure wish we could have played cards. I hear there's this great show at 7 o'clock. Let's watch it at the same time and talk about it when it's over. Though we can't be together, we can be together. And it's the same with us. You see this amount of people this morning. There are 32 of us here today. We are missing about 25 to 30 people. Some have just gotten back from long trips. Some are out enjoying time with family. And some are unsure if this is where they should be. Not because they don't have faith, but because they're older and they do have underlying conditions. And out of an abundance of caution, they are not here. But they're here. And they're there in all of your hearts. And they're there in your minds. And what if it was you who was unsure if I should leave my house? Wouldn't you want somebody to go, hi, I'm here. I can't be at your door, but I'm here. God is here. And God is with you. When we were in church, we didn't take up all of God's time. And all the other churches in the world don't take up all God's time because God is omnipresent. And whether you're here or whether you're in your house, God is there with them. And sometimes we need to be reminded of that because we get caught up in all that's going on in the world. I implore each and every one of us to reach out. Is there a neighbor who you haven't seen peeking through the windows, or whose line is busy, busy, busy every time you call? Just call again. Or just knock on their door, and if they open the door, you just do this so they don't open their screen door, and say, we were checking on you, we haven't heard from you, and we've been trying to call you. Or knock on their door and leave something on their stoop and see if they open the door to receive it. You will put your mind at peace, and whomever has received your gift will be so pleased. Whether it's 2 cupcakes or a loaf of fresh bread or whatever it is, you will make their day, and they will know that somebody cares. A lot of our seniors don't have a lot of family around them. And they may feel more isolated by that. But we are called as children of God to go and take care of one another. Go to the help of your neighbor. That's what we're called to do. We shouldn't be like the woman at the well, wondering, why on earth would you want to come here and talk to me? I'm sick. Why do you want to be here? The answer is because we love you, and we are doing this in a safe manner. That's what we need to remember in all of this. Being community means caring for one another in whatever ways you can do. I'm going to ask Valerie right now, is Delberta okay? She's not here.
She had an earache and stuffy allergy stuff.
Okay. Because on Wednesday when we had the conversation during our Lenten gathering, do we continue our Lenten gatherings or do we not? And everyone said we must persevere on as we are doing because we need some normalcy. And so Delberta was one of those. So I was hoping she hadn't gotten sick since that Wednesday conversation. But I'm sorry she has an earache and some guck. But tell her we asked about her and we hope she gets better soon. And if there's anything that she needs, not only can she call on you, but she can call on us. Okay? And if you happen to drop chocolate off at her stoop, she would not care. My friends, this is a crazy time, and those of you who have Facebook have seen the things I've been posting to try to figure all this out myself. This is something they don't teach in seminary, how to deal with a pandemic. So most of us pastors are flying by the seat of our pants. And should our bishop or our executive presbyter say there will be no more worship, we will follow that course of action. But until then, as long as you keep showing up, I'll keep being here or there or wherever I need to be. We are God's children. And together, we all will get through this. Let Kent know that we are praying for him and that isolation will be over. All right, guys, let's stand up. We're going to sing, and that's going to make us feel way better.